This valuable-looking top 4 Lincoln Bicentennial penny might seem worth just 1 cent, but the right coin with the right error or rare variety has sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. Some collectors have paid more for a worn, scratched penny than for a brand new car. And the most surprising part? Many of these valuable coins still turn up in pocket change, old jars, and forgotten coin collections across America. First coin, take a close look at this 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny with the log cabin on the back. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary 1-cent coin that most people would toss into a jar without a second thought. Many of these coins have spent years bouncing around in pockets, cash registers, and coin rolls. Some are stained, scratched, discolored, or covered with dirt. But what if one of those seemingly worthless pennies could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the right collector? The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial cent was released to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The reverse design shows the humble log cabin that represents Lincoln's birthplace in Kentucky. Millions of Americans received these coins in change, and because so many were produced, most people assumed they would never be valuable. That assumption has caused countless potentially valuable examples to be overlooked. What makes this coin especially interesting is that collectors search intensely for high-grade examples and unusual mint errors. While an ordinary circulated coin is usually worth only a few cents, certain pieces can command dramatically higher prices. The difference often comes down to small details that many people miss. Start by looking at the overall condition. Even though this video focuses on coins that may appear dirty or worn, condition still matters. If a coin somehow escaped heavy circulation and still has strong original detail, sharp lines on the log cabin, and attractive surfaces, collectors may pay a premium. Many people spent these coins immediately after receiving them, making pristine examples harder to find than you might think. Next, pay attention to the mint mark. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while coins from Denver have a D mint mark below the date. San Francisco examples were produced primarily for collectors. Some collectors assemble complete sets and will pay more for exceptional examples from specific mints. Now comes the exciting part. Errors and varieties are what turn an ordinary penny into a potential treasure hunt. Look carefully for doubling in the lettering, unusual design distortions, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or areas where parts of the design appear missing. Even a small mint error can attract serious collector attention because errors are accidental and far less common than normal coins. One of the most valuable discoveries is a dramatic off-center strike. Imagine finding a Lincoln Bicentennial penny where part of the design is shifted noticeably off the coin. To many people, it looks damaged. To collectors, it may be exactly the kind of mint mistake they are searching for. Depending on the severity and overall appearance, these errors can sell for substantial premiums. Another clue involves die cracks and cut errors. These occur when the dies used to strike coins begin to deteriorate. The result can be raised lines or unusual blobs of metal on the finished coin. Many people assume these features are damage, but experienced collectors know they can be genuine mint-made errors. You should also examine the edges and surfaces closely. A coin that appears ugly, spotted, or strange may actually have a striking error or planchet defect. Before dismissing an unusual-looking penny, compare it with a normal example. Differences that seem minor could be important. Many collectors remember the excitement surrounding the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial series because it was the first time in decades that Lincoln cent reverse designs changed multiple times in a single year. That historical significance continues to drive interest today. The log cabin design represents the beginning of Lincoln's remarkable journey from a frontier cabin to the White House. Because of that story, these coins hold a special place in American numismatic history. Auction records have shown that exceptional Lincoln Bicentennial cents, particularly those with outstanding grades or notable errors, can bring surprisingly strong prices. While most examples are common, the rare standouts are the reason collectors keep searching through rolls and old collections. Every year, people discover coins they previously ignored, only to learn they possess something much more interesting than ordinary pocket change. Imagine opening an old coffee can filled with pennies collected years ago. You begin sorting through them and spot a 2009 log cabin cent. It looks worn and unremarkable. Then you notice an unusual strike, a dramatic error, or remarkably sharp details. Suddenly, that 1-cent coin becomes the most exciting find in the entire collection. That possibility is exactly why coin collecting remains so popular among Americans. The thrill is not just about money. It is about discovery. Valuable coins do not always look valuable. Sometimes the most overlooked coin in the pile turns out to be the one everyone wishes they had examined more carefully. Next coin. Now let's move to a Lincoln bicentennial penny that many people overlook every single day, the 2009 Lincoln Presidency Cent. This was the fourth and final design released in the Lincoln Bicentennial series, and it commemorates Abraham Lincoln's years as President of the United States. On the reverse, you'll see the unfinished Capitol Dome, a powerful symbol of a nation being built during one of the most challenging periods in American history. At first glance, this coin seems completely ordinary. Most people see a penny with a different design and think nothing of it. In fact, countless examples have been tossed into jars, piggy banks, desk drawers, and coin rolls for years. Many are scratched, dirty, stained, or heavily circulated. Yet some of these seemingly insignificant pennies have become highly desirable among collectors. The reason is simple. While millions were produced, collectors are always searching for the best examples and the rare mistakes that escape the mint. Those special coins can be worth far more than 1 cent. The first thing to check is the mint mark. This particular coin carries a D mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Denver Mint. Look beneath the date on the obverse side of the coin. While most Denver-issued Lincoln Presidency cents are common, certain examples stand out because of exceptional preservation, strong strikes, or unusual mint errors. Many people assume that a dirty coin automatically has no value. Coin collectors know better. Some valuable coins look rough on the surface because they spent years in circulation. What matters is whether the coin possesses a feature that makes it unusual or rare. Start by examining Lincoln's portrait. Look closely at the date, the lettering, and the mint mark. Any signs of doubling may be worth investigating. Sometimes letters appear slightly doubled, numbers look thicker than normal, or parts of the design seem to have an extra outline. These characteristics can attract collector attention when they result from the minting process. Next, turn the coin over and study the Capitol Dome design carefully. The architectural details create many opportunities for unusual striking characteristics to appear. Check the lines, lettering, and details around the building. Any noticeable abnormalities should be examined further. One of the most exciting discoveries involves off-center strikes. These occur when the blank coin is not properly positioned during the striking process. The result is a design that appears shifted to one side. To someone unfamiliar with coins, it may look defective. To collectors, it can be a genuine mint error worth a significant premium. Another valuable possibility is a clipped planchet error. This happens when the metal blank is improperly cut before striking. A portion of the coin may appear missing in a smooth, curved shape. Because these errors occur before the coin is struck, they are considered legitimate mint mistakes and often command strong collector interest. Collectors also search for die cracks and other die-related errors. These can appear as raised lines running through parts of the design. At first, they may look like scratches. However, because they are raised above the surface rather than cut into it, they may actually be evidence of a damaged die used during production. The 2009 Lincoln Presidency Cent holds a special place in modern coin collecting because it completed the 4-coin bicentennial series. Each reverse design represented a different stage of Abraham Lincoln's life. The presidency design serves as the final chapter, symbolizing Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War and his enduring legacy in American history. Because this coin marked the conclusion of the bicentennial program, many collectors actively seek complete sets featuring all 4 designs. High-quality examples of the Denver issue often attract attention from collectors attempting to upgrade their collections. What makes the hunt exciting is that valuable examples do not announce themselves. They often hide among ordinary pennies. A collector might search through thousands of coins before finding a single piece with an important error or an unusually strong strike. That challenge is part of what makes coin collecting so rewarding. There are stories of people discovering collectible Lincoln bicentennial cents in old jars that had been sitting untouched for years. Others have found them in bank rolls purchased for only face value. The coins looked ordinary until a closer inspection revealed something special. NRXT coin. Now we come to one of the most recognizable and fascinating coins in the entire Lincoln bicentennial series, the 2009 Formative Years Lincoln Cent. This unique penny features a young Abraham Lincoln sitting on a log, deeply focused on a book. The design celebrates the years when Lincoln educated himself through determination, curiosity, and a love of learning. To most people, it's just another penny. To collectors, however, it can be a coin worth taking a much closer look at. Imagine finding this coin at the bottom of a change jar. It's dirty, scratched, and covered with years of wear. Most people wouldn't think twice about spending it. But hidden among millions of ordinary examples are coins that collectors eagerly search for because of their condition, rarity, or unusual mint-made characteristics. The story behind this design makes it especially appealing. Abraham Lincoln was largely self-taught, often reading books whenever he could find the opportunity. The image of young Lincoln reading while sitting on a split log captures that determination. It reminds Americans that one of the nation's greatest presidents began life with humble circumstances and an extraordinary desire to learn. That historical significance alone makes the coin popular with collectors. But popularity is only part of the story. The real excitement comes from the possibility of finding an example that stands out from the crowd. The first thing collectors examine is the overall appearance of the coin. Many formative years since entered circulation immediately after release and spent years being handled, dropped, and exchanged. As a result, sharply detailed examples can be more desirable than heavily worn ones. Even so, don't automatically ignore a coin just because it looks rough. Some of the most interesting discoveries come from coins that appear unattractive at first glance. Take a close look at Lincoln's portrait on the front. Examine the date, the lettering, and the surfaces around the design. Then turn the coin over and study the image of young Lincoln on the log. Pay attention to the book, the log, and the surrounding details. Anything that appears unusual deserves further inspection. One of the most exciting possibilities involves doubling. Sometimes letters, numbers, or design elements appear thicker than normal or seem to have an extra image. To the average person, these differences might look insignificant. To collectors, they can be clues that a coin deserves additional attention. Another feature worth watching for is an off-center strike. When a coin is struck incorrectly, part of the design may be shifted away from its normal position. The result can look strange or damaged, but such errors are often highly collectible. The more dramatic the error, the more interest it may attract. Collectors also search for die cracks, die chips, and other unusual characteristics created during the minting process. These can appear as raised lines or bumps on the coin's surface. Because they originate from the dies used to strike the coins, they are considered legitimate mint-made features rather than post-mint damage. Sometimes a coin looks odd because of a planchet issue. A planchet is the metal blank used to create a coin. If something unusual occurred before the coin was struck, visible abnormalities may remain on the finished piece. These unusual characteristics can make certain coins much more interesting to specialists. The formative years design gained attention immediately upon release because it differs so dramatically from traditional Lincoln cent reverses. Instead of a building or memorial, collectors were presented with a scene from Lincoln's youth. That artistic change made the coin memorable and helped create lasting demand among collectors. Many people saved examples when they first appeared. However, millions more entered circulation and were spent normally. Over the years, countless coins became worn, scratched, or damaged. As a result, truly exceptional examples became harder to find than many people expected. Stories continue to emerge about collectors discovering valuable bicentennial cents in unexpected places. Some have found them in inherited collections. Others have located them while searching through bank rolls one coin at a time. The common theme is that the valuable examples often looked ordinary at first. Picture yourself sorting through a jar containing hundreds of pennies. Most are common dates that barely receive a second glance. Then you spot a 2009 penny showing a young Abraham Lincoln reading on a log. Curious, you inspect it more carefully. Maybe you notice unusual doubling. Maybe the strike looks different from normal examples. Perhaps the coin possesses remarkably strong details despite years of circulation. Suddenly, what seemed like a simple penny becomes the center of attention. That possibility is what keeps collectors searching. Every roll of pennies contains potential. Every old collection could hold an overlooked treasure. While most formative years cents are worth only a small premium over face value, the right combination of rarity, condition, and mint-made characteristics can make a particular coin far more desirable. Next coin. Now we arrive at a Lincoln bicentennial penny that many collectors consider one of the most historically significant designs in the entire four-coin series, the 2009 D Lincoln bicentennial cent featuring the professional life reverse. This coin shows Abraham Lincoln standing before the Illinois state capitol, representing the years when he worked as a lawyer and began building the reputation that would eventually lead him to the White House. At first glance, this penny doesn't appear special. In fact, thousands of people handle these coins every year without giving them a second thought. They show up in change jars, bank rolls, dresser drawers, and old collections all across America. Many examples are scratched, stained, faded, or worn from years of circulation. Most people assume they are worth only 1 cent. That assumption is exactly why some valuable examples continue to go unnoticed. The professional life design tells an important chapter of Lincoln's story. Before becoming president, Lincoln spent years developing his skills as a lawyer, public speaker, and political leader. The image of Lincoln standing before the Illinois state capitol symbolizes his rise from humble beginnings to a position of national influence. It is a design rich with American history, and collectors continue to appreciate it more than a decade after its release. For coin hunters, however, history is only part of the attraction. The real excitement comes from the possibility of finding an unusual example hiding among ordinary pennies. The first thing you should check is the mint mark. This coin carries a D mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Denver Mint. While millions were produced, collectors know that not every coin leaves the mint exactly as intended. Small differences can sometimes transform an ordinary penny into a sought-after collectible. Take a careful look at the front of the coin. Examine Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the lettering. Look for anything that seems unusual. Doubling is one feature that attracts collector attention. Letters or numbers may appear slightly doubled, thicker than normal, or show unusual separation. These details can be easy to miss unless you're paying close attention. Next, flip the coin over and study the professional life design. Look carefully at Lincoln's figure, the Illinois state capitol, and the surrounding inscriptions. Small irregularities may reveal a striking error or another unusual characteristic. Many collectors have learned that the most valuable discoveries often hide in plain sight. One of the most exciting possibilities is an off-center strike. These errors occur when the coin blank is not perfectly positioned during the minting process. The result is a design that appears shifted away from the center. To someone unfamiliar with coins, it may look damaged. To collectors, it can be a highly desirable mint error. Another feature worth examining is the coin's surface. Sometimes unusual marks, raised lines, or odd metal flow patterns result from problems with the dies used during production. These die-related characteristics can make a coin stand out from the millions of ordinary examples produced that year. Collectors also search for clipped planchet errors. In these cases, part of the coin blank was improperly cut before the strike occurred. The finished coin may appear to have a curved section missing from its edge. Although unusual looking, such errors are genuine products of the minting process and often attract strong collector interest. What makes the professional life cent particularly appealing is its place within the complete bicentennial series. The four reverse designs tell the story of Abraham Lincoln's life from childhood to presidency. This coin represents the crucial years when Lincoln developed the skills and experience that shaped his future leadership. For many collectors, assembling all four designs is an important goal. Because of that popularity, high-quality examples continue to be sought after. Coins with strong details, attractive surfaces, and minimal wear often receive extra attention. Yet even worn examples deserve a careful inspection because errors can remain valuable regardless of circulation. Many coin collectors can recall stories of valuable finds that initially appeared ordinary. A coin sitting unnoticed in a penny jar for years suddenly reveals an unusual strike or collectible feature. A bank roll search uncovers an error coin that slipped through countless hands unnoticed. These discoveries happen because people take the time to look closely. Imagine sorting through a handful of pennies received as change from a local store. Most are modern coins that seem completely unremarkable. Then you notice a 2009 penny featuring Lincoln standing before the Illinois state capitol. Out of curiosity, you examine it more carefully. Perhaps you discover unusual doubling. Maybe the strike appears off-center. Maybe the details are remarkably sharp compared to other examples. Suddenly, that 1-cent coin becomes the most interesting piece in the pile. This is the magic of coin collecting. The greatest treasures often hide among the most common-looking coins. Valuable discoveries are not always shiny or beautiful. Sometimes they are dirty, scratched, and worn from years of circulation. What matters is the story the coin tells and the unique characteristics it possesses. The professional life cent also serves as a reminder of Lincoln's remarkable journey. It represents a period of growth, ambition, and preparation. Every time collectors examine this design, they are looking at a symbol of one of the most important chapters in American history. That historical connection helps explain why interest in the 2009 bicentennial series remains strong today. Collectors enjoy owning coins that tell a story, and few stories are as compelling as Lincoln's rise from humble beginnings to national leadership. So before you spend your next 2009 Professional Life Lincoln cent, take a closer look. Examine the date, the mint mark,